questions from either party? Mr. Ojak.
No opening statement.
Ms. Dehart, is there anything you'd like to say for an opening statement?
Yes, that paper.
I am asking that you, this is an appeal on a case. I just want to make sure you have a photo with you.
Ma'am, that's not the appropriate way to end.
So wait, what are you even talking about, Judge? Are you seriously telling us that a blurry photo snapped on the side of the road, uploaded to some dusty old computer, printed out on an inkjet from 2005, and then waved around in court through a 720p webcam isn't admissible evidence?
You did it?
Okay, you should have a copy of it is what I'm saying. I'm sorry. So what I'm trying
I don't have any, ma'am, I don't have anything.
Oh,
Okay,
at the time of the appeal.
okay. At the time that I made the appeal, I made this photo and I have others available and they received it at the court and they said that it would be with the paperwork. So I can either show it to you now, but what I'm trying to let you know is that I'm asking for an appeal on the magistrate's
appeal, ma'am.
ruling.
The appeal. This
I'm
is your
appealing.
hearing.
Right. So I would like you to.
I think the words you're actually looking for are, Judge, I need more time to get myself an attorney.
Yes. My question for the officer is that
You there.
I'm trying to do this correctly. So if I do anything that's wrong, I appreciate when you correct me. So my question for the officer is that I changed my lanes with my, well, that's not for the officer, but I always use my turn indicators when I change my lanes. I guess I'm a little confused about the fact that is not
this is
at
questions
all,
at this point.
that was,
Ms. Dehart, can you ask questions? Your opportunity to testify. It's your opportunity to ask the officer questions about what he had just testified to.
okay, that this testimony that he is saying now is not what was testified in the previous magistrate court. He's changed his testimony from then.
It's not your turn to testify. It's your turn to ask him questions, not me.
Yeah, I'm asking. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm asking him why he's changed his testimony. All of this information is not part of what was at the magistrate. So why did he change this? I do want to know, did he go back and check the lane usage, which is what I was told, that it was improper lane usage because the court magistrate.
Hold up right there, Karen. You should have stopped at your first question. Why did you change your testimony from the informal hearing to the formal one? Perfectly valid question. The problem? You never even gave the officer a chance to answer. Now, let's see if Karen can actually rephrase her question as an actual question, and maybe stay quiet long enough to hear the response.
Not for improper lane use when that's what we did in the previous magistrate. Why is this testimony different than what we talked about in the previous? I was told specifically by the magistrate.
Ma'am, one question at one question at a time. Let him answer.
Okay.
Okay, my testimony in this case is a little more detailed than it would have been in the informal hearing. And the reason for that is, and I actually took measurements on Google Earth and the washna.org mapping system. That's how I had the exact measurements of the signage, where the road markings were, etc. As far as what you were stopped for, you were stopped for, it could be improper lane use. It could be the fail to yield for merging over. There were a number of violations that would have been appropriate. And I ended up issuing the...
Wow, that cop's a real jackass. He could have written her up for a whole list of things, yet he went with the one charge that carried the least impact and the lightest consequences.
It's called an informal hearing. So you didn't really answer my question. My question is, why did it change from the lane usage, which the magistrate previously made it very, very clear that this was specifically regarding using the right lane to go through, and that the right lane, she repeatedly said that the right lane is a right turn only lane.
Karen, you're doing it again. You're testifying, not asking a question. Try an actual question. You know, an open-ended sentence with a question mark at the end. Here, let me show you how it's done. Father's Day is coming up. What are you getting your dads this year? And since you're thinking about it, let me throw out a suggestion. Get them an extra wallet. I've had mine for a few months now, and honestly, I'm never going back to a regular wallet. I'm still obsessed with the sleek design, the premium build, the RFID security, and the fact that I can track it anywhere in the world right from my phone. But the feature that saved me the most? The reverse find button. If I've got my wallet but can't find my phone, I just tap the button on the wallet and let my phone ring its heart out. Hands down the feature I use the most, and it's a total game changer. So this year, I'm grabbing the Onyx Parliament wallet for my dad. My brother, who just wrapped up 2 decades in the Navy, is getting the digital Navy aluminum wallet. And my son? A trackable laptop bag, so he can gift it to his father. I genuinely love my Exter, and I wouldn't hop on a second sponsorship if I didn't think you'd love it too. So hit the link in the pinned comment or description, grab 20% off all your trackable Father's Day gear. Valgert, I've bought you plenty of time. Have you finally figured out how to ask a question?
Clearly indicates that there is a left turn lane, there is a straight through lane, and then there is a straight through and right turn lane. Is the officer aware of that?
There are, as you're coming eastbound, I'm assuming you're talking about the eastbound lanes. As you're coming eastbound, there is a left turn lane that goes north onto Austin Road, and then there are 2 other lanes, the inside lane and the curb lane, and both of those are allowed to go straight through at that point.
Right. And that's what I did, and that's what you testified to, and I clearly, why are you changing your testimony? Are you just trying to keep my money? That just doesn't make sense to me.
Oh my God, Karen, you were so close. You actually asked a real question, you got an answer, and then you immediately unraveled.
Sustained.
I agree with you. It's not appropriate, but I'm very sorry, Your Honor. This is clearly not appropriate either. It's a very, okay. And then I would like to say, I do have a witness.
Ms. Dehart, if you have any further questions for for Officer Belknap,
No.
we have any further questions for him?
All right. Is Officer Belknap aware that I had someone else in the car?
Yes, you had your husband, and he made it very clear that he worked for a police department, and I felt that he was actually trying to get you some courtesy for that. And in fact, that's perhaps why I issued the impeding traffic and not the traffic violation with the points on it.
Yes. Karen, you may bring out your Kevin now.
Because of a courtesy to other police officers. And he made it very clear.
Ma'am, you cannot testify right now. And everything you're saying, I am not taking into evidence. You have
I'm very sorry, Your Honor.
Ma'am, it's my turn to speak.
Okay.
Opportunity to cross-examine the officer. If you have any questions for him, you may ask him questions, but your questions are not evidence. So you do not go off on all these other things that the magistrate was talking about, because I'm not taking note of any of that. Those are not evidence, those are just questions. What the officer is saying is the evidence that I'm going to take into account. So if you have any further questions that you would like to ask the officer, please do so.
Thank you. Then another question that I have is that the officer was not the only one in attendance. And could he please tell me, there was his supervisor or whatever their ranking is, was also there. And
what is the question, ma'am? You're testifying again. Can you please ask the officer a question?
Okay, so what was the other officer there for, other than him? Yeah. And was he, I'm sorry. I'm very sorry because I'm saying sorry too much, and I'm not used to court proceedings. So I apologize for all of that. So is there something I maybe would like to revisit this again, because the courts did not receive, I have a copy that said they received it, and none of it's with the file. And I just feel really.
Ma'am, if you
like
have
shanghaied.
evidence that you would like to use, then you can certainly try to admit that evidence through a witness. You can't just hand me documents.
Right. You mean like the court? As a witness, submit documents through a witness, which would be
Through their
the court.
testimony.
Okay, well.
Kevin said it, so it must be true. And I love how she just throws out her husband's 33 years of professional experience without bothering to back it up with a single actual fact.
Another device or something he can.
I'm right here.
He's right next to me. Is that what you want?
I'm right here.
Okay.
And please tell me if my window.
Can you raise your right hand, sir? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Lower your hand, state and spell your name for the record, please.
Kevin Dehart, Dehart. The first name is Kevin.
Go ahead, Ms. Dehart.
Okay, first of all,
No, sir, you can't
what?
just start talking. Ms. Dehart can ask you questions.
Oh,
You're
I'm sorry.
the other witness. You can't just talk.
I'm sorry. I thought you said Mr. Dehart, not Mrs. Dehart. Were you in the car with me in November 10th, 2021?
Yes, I was.
As I was driving, in your professional opinion, with over 33
I'm
years.
going to object to the comment about professional
police.
opinion, Your Honor. And we'll stipulate to the fact that he was present in the car. The officer already testified to that.
Sustained.
Yeah. Okay, and did I do any illegal driving during that time?
No, you did not.
None. Well, there would be none. So that would cover absolutely everything that was handled on that day, including the line markings that do you believe that the officer's statement about where all the line markings are on the road and where the dotted lines happen in the road and where the lane ends and the usage, does that include that all of that was done legally?
Yes, it was.
And do you believe that the officer has changed his story from the hearing that we were
I'm going to
in?
object again,
Oh,
Your
wait,
Honor.
that was
We're talking
when I
about
used to talk
testimony
about-
and it-
I'm sorry. I just remembered
Sustained. Ms.
that.
Dehart, please
Yes.
move on from the informal hearing.
Thank you. I'm sorry, I forgot about that. So do you believe that the officer's testimony today is not accurate and not true to what he told us when we were pulled over?
Objection again, Your Honor. She's going back to the same thing that you just told her not to do.
You're gonna get a lawyer.
Yeah, I think I need some representation.
This is.
I don't know how to handle it from now, Your Honor, because
Ms. Dehart, do you have any questions about the November 20th?
November,
Mr. Dehart.
on November 10th?
I'm sorry,
Okay.
November 10th.
Yeah.
Do you have any further questions for Mr. Dehart about November?
I'm going to go ahead and go along with you, and I'm going to say that there is nothing else at this time that I'm just all shooken. I'm totally shooken up. Okay. Totally shooken up because okay, I'll stop there to try to be more appropriate to you. Your Honor, I'm very sorry that we have to take up your time on this because I think that you have not been told the truth in this case. So my closing statement would include that I wished the court proceedings worked and you had the paperwork in front of you that you need, and that the officer's story has changed in three different times. And I just don't know what else to say. I just would appreciate that you dismiss this and we can have our money returned, because as everyone knows, money is very tight these days. And living with an officer for 38 years, I appreciate and respect everything about the officers. I was the one that was insulted when he made comments about himself, because that is definitely not perfect.
I'm not going to go into about everything that happened before. There's a lot of things you just said, which I could really point out. I want to make two statements. What she provided to the court, if it had been provided to you, court staff would have been violating the rules, as they're not allowed to, she's not allowed to provide evidence ex parte to the court without providing it to the prosecutor too, and that would be done in trial. My second statement is regarding all the things she has said several times about Officer Belknap. I have decades and decades and decades of experience, and I actually know Officer Belknap very well, and I consider him one of the most professional and best officers I've ever had contact with. That's all.
Thank you, Mr. Ojak.
Can I answer to that?
No, you can't. The way that it works, the prosecutor, because they're bringing the case forward, they get the last word because they have the burden of proof.
Well, because.
No,
yeah,
ma'am, the hearing's concluded.
Shut up, Karen.
Okay.
After listening to the testimony from Officer Belknap, as well as the testimony from Kevin Dehart and Lisa Dehart, I wanted to address a couple of things. There was a lot of conversation about a photo that Miss Dehart that she submitted to the court. It is correct. It wouldn't have been appropriate for her to not also include the prosecutor in that communication. Nonetheless, it became clear through her own testimony of what this picture would have reflected. And from the officer's testimony, it doesn't sound like this picture had any relevance to what this impeding traffic ticket is about. So had it even been submitted, I'm not sure if it would have been appropriate to bring forward in this case, because what the picture seemed, what I believe, or what it seems that Ms. Dehart was saying that the picture was portraying had nothing to do with why she was pulled over. So I'm not sure that picture had any relevance. So I believe it wasn't actually submitted. Ma'am, you cannot speak.
I'm sorry.
You cannot speak. As far as the testimony, we did have testimony from Officer Belknap about what happened that day, what he witnessed. He was on the lookout based on the dispatch had given him some information about to be on a lookout for a vehicle, that there were some complaints about a vehicle. So he was certainly paying attention to what was happening at that intersection. He witnessed Ms. Dehart's vehicle sort of force merge herself beyond where the lane had actually narrowed, despite there being two other signs indicating that the right lane was ending. And Officer Belknap also indicated that he witnessed the vehicle behind Miss Dehart's vehicle that she cut in front of had to slow down. After Officer Belknap's testimony, there was no testimony offered from the other witnesses that testified about what exactly happened at that intersection and that merge. There was no explanation or alternative facts given to what may have happened at that intersection that perhaps Officer Belknap may have confused or may have missaw. There was just no testimony given about what happened at the intersection at all. I did find Officer Belknap's testimony believable, and I do find the prosecutor has met their burden to show that there was enough evidence by preponderance of evidence that Ms. Dehart had committed the civil infraction of impeding traffic. And I will find her responsible for that. Fines and costs were assessed previously and they were set as a bond in this matter. So the court will apply the bond to the fines and costs.
Thank you.